Hey everyone, I'm Karen from Runs on Plants RD and Progressive Health of Delaware. Here cooking in my kitchen, hoping you can follow along. Just want to go over what we're cooking tonight. We're doing a one-pot pasta dish. I'm going to start with some cashews. So I have about 3/4 cup of cashews that have been soaked. Now if you have a high power blender like a Vitamix, you don't have to do the soaking. I've got 2 zucchini, a box, 1 pound box of whole wheat spaghetti. You can use whatever variety of pasta you like for this dish. I've got 4 cloves of garlic, 2 onions, 1 lemon. My vegetable broth that I've divided here, you're going to need about 5 cups of vegetable broth, 3 cups of frozen peas, and I am going to go outside in a minute and pick some basil from my deck that's going to go on at the end as a garnish. Alright, so that's what you need to get started. Let's get going. So first I'm going to chop up these 2 onions. So for this dish, you're just going to chop the onions in long strips. You don't have to dice them really fine. So I just like to start here, slice almost all the way through, and then slice down. And we will do the same for the other half of this onion and the second. All right, so all the onions are chopped now. I am turn on the stove onto like medium-high heat and just let that warm up, and we're gonna add the onions to that. So while that's warming up, I poured 2.5 cups of vegetable broth in my Vitamix blender. I'm gonna take these cashews and just drain them real quick. And whoop, there we go. Add these in. So this is gonna make a really great like a cream sauce to add to the pasta mixture, and we're going to actually cook the noodles in this and some additional liquid. So I'm going to just put this on. You're going to want to turn your food processor or blender on high speed. And you want your blender to go for like 3 to 5 minutes. Really want to get a really creamy texture with the cashew. I'm going to go ahead and add the onions to the pan. Hot. Give them a stir. And as those onions are going, we're going to chop up our garlic. So to get the skin off, you can just take a knife, press down, and then the peel comes off very nicely. I didn't add any oil to this pot. We're really, I don't ever use oil in cooking because it doesn't add anything to the dish. It's very high in calorie density. It's a super processed food. It adds a lot of calories because it is just liquid fat and not nutrients. So we really want to maximize the nutrients in the meals that we eat. And so it's easy to what's called steam fry. If you have a hot pan or pot, you just throw those onions and other veggies in, and if that pan or pot is heated, it allows the liquids from the vegetables to be released, and that's enough to keep them from sticking. And come on in, take a close look. Like you can see how they're getting browned even without any oil. You flip them over. A little bit of browning going on, but we're gonna let them go for a little while longer, and that'll you'll be able to see it even better. So I don't miss cooking with oil at all, and the taste is delicious without it. Certainly health-wise, I think it is one thing that's really easy to do, especially if you're dealing with a chronic disease like heart disease or diabetes that you're trying to reverse, cutting out oils or greatly reducing them can be hugely to your benefit. All right, so next what we're gonna do is add the garlic because the onions are nice and brown. If you're cooking without oil and veggies start to stick, yeah, come on in, because now you can see a little bit better how the onions have browned a bit. And you don't want the, I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. We don't want the garlic to burn. So you really just need to throw that in for less than 30 seconds and then have some liquid ready to go. So I've got 2.5 cups of veggie broth here. I'm gonna also add 2.5 cups of water. We're also gonna add the juice of 1 lemon. So you just wanna give your lemon, woohoo, a nice roll. Use my little juicer to get the juice out of the whole lemon. Usually I zest first, but today I forgot. So we're gonna zest the peel after we juice it. And then this is gonna go in the pot as well, along with the cashew cream. So the original recipe actually called for a can of full-fat coconut milk. And that's a lot of fat, and again, not a lot of nutritional value. All right, looks good. Throw in the lemon juice as well. Throw in our pasta. As the pasta is boiling, we are going to take our zucchini and make some zoodles, which is lots of fun. You know, any of the meals that I prepare are subject to your interpretation of adding, subtracting vegetables, things that you like, spices that you like in particular. So that's one of my favorite things about plant-based cooking. There are so many types of plants that you can make a variety of dishes from one single recipe. You can make it different every time if you want, using different vegetables, different seasonings. All right, so that pasta is almost up to a boil. I'm gonna put my timer on for 13 minutes. So this is my lovely chopper and zoodle maker. You'll see me use it frequently for chopping vegetables. Today we're gonna use it to make our zucchini noodles. So there's a little grater inside here, and we're just going to twist the zucchini, and you can see the noodles coming out the other end. All right, so I used, my chopper and zoodle maker here to make some zucchini noodles. If you don't have something like this, you can just use a vegetable peeler. So you just peel to make really thin strips. Now, with your peeler or with the zoodle maker, like when you get to the bottom, it's really hard. You don't want to cut your fingers, obviously. So there were some scraps behind. I'm just gonna chop them up real fine and throw them in a salad. Same thing with like this piece of the zucchini that, you know, I feel like I might slice my fingers if I keep going. So I'm just gonna put that aside, chop it up, throw it on a salad. So our noodles, come on over, take a look. Everything's boiling here. In about 2 more minutes, I'm gonna throw in the zoodles and the peas. I'm also gonna add the lemon zest and a couple of spices. I like smoked paprika a whole lot, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that. Pepper, I'm not gonna add any salt. You certainly can if you want. Typically vegetable broth is pretty darn high in sodium, and so adding an additional salt you know, might not be necessary. The brand that I use is lower in sodium than most brands, but still, in my opinion, it's enough to for the dish where you don't have to add any salt. And certainly lots of people don't want to add salt for Very good reasons. All right, so let me finish this. All right, that looks good. So at this time, I'm gonna throw in our frozen peas. Give them a good stir. I'm gonna throw in the zucchini that we have. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat this piece. So this is our dish. So 1 pot, which is something that I love. I'm just gonna zest the lemon right over top. I am going to add the zest from this whole lemon. You can certainly add less. All right, so I'm gonna throw in about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here. Let's do 1 more. Let's do 2 teaspoons. All right, and a little bit of black pepper. I will add the fresh basil as a garnish as I'm plating the meal. So here is the finished product. We got our pasta and peas and zucchini with a nice, wonderful lemon cashew cream sauce and some fresh basil. Enjoy.